Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Wait, it's been a while. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
All right.
Wait, just 1 second. Wait, and then ba 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 ba.
Dun dun do 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 do.
Ba 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 ba.
Dun dun do 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 do.
Ba 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 ba.
Three guys and no bear. We'll be talking Brady.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he's not here.
It's honestly fair.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, happy spring, everybody.
Happy end of the world, everyone.
Happy end of the world.
Apocalypse.
Woo!
Well, we're gonna talk about NFL free agency 2020 in hopes of a season actually occurring.
Yeah.
We will assume that it will happen for the sake of the things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But if not, these things will still occur at some point in the future. Maybe it's like a year and a half from now or whatever. Like whatever.
Well,
Right?
maybe. I mean, maybe we could cancel the season and then the world actually just ends.
That's true.
That could be.
Look. I already made my predictions, and I've already locked it in, Coach. With my luck, he's never going to play for the Bucs. He'll sign the contract. I called $30 million, by the way, before it was even announced. I just want to be on record saying that.
All right.
But they're gonna sign him. It's been confirmed. He's ready to go. The season's gonna be canceled. He's gonna thank everyone for the opportunity and retire and go back to New England and a 1-day contract to retire the Patriots. Arians is going to be really sad about it and say he also retires, and then I'll be stuck with probably one of Andy Reid's assistant coaches, and we're back to being nothing but just buck ball.
Dude, it could get worse than that, though, because Jameis will probably still be in free agency at that point. And you'll be right back up.
For
Jameis
some
Winston
reason, nobody
will
has
not
signed
become Buccaneer
Jameis
again.
Winston yet.
I wonder why, Coach. Tell us why that is. You're the only coach here, Coach.
Well, if you're a Patriots fan, your world's already over, so congratulations.
Yeah.
But even the Patriots said today they do not want Jameis Winston, which destroys my theory that they'd swap quarterbacks and we'd have this great battle.
God,
that would have been. Do you realize, guys? Do you realize the quality of banter that me and Bear would have for the entire season if they had gotten Jameis? Do you realize how entertaining that would have been, Rob?
That really would have been very good.
It would have
been
great.
Very into that.
I mean, it'd still be good with you having Tom Brady and him not. Who's the Patriots quarterback going to be?
I don't know. Probably draft QB.
It's going to be not Tom Brady.
Yeah, which is insane.
I cannot believe that we're living in this timeline where, it wasn't that long ago that we were BSing about it and joking about it. I think it was even Krendor who brought it up. Like, imagine a possibility of Tom Brady going to the Bucs, and like all of us, no more so than me, were like, that will never happen. Like, I don't know how many absolutes there are in this world, but one thing I can absolutely assure you is that the Bucs, that Brady, even if they threw unlimited money at him, would never play for Tampa. Yeah. And then he's now our quarterback.
I really didn't think it was going to happen. But I got to say, I'm almost certain that the only reason that he went, like, your team might be the only one.
Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, actually, you're right. I wasn't actually going to mention that, but I think you're right too. Yeah, I think Bruce Arians would definitely be one of the main factors. But the reason that I would say is the receiving core. You guys have you guys maybe have the best receiving core in the league, which is hilarious because of how bad your record has been the past couple of years. But and Brady hasn't been able to throw to good receivers in a long time. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe he wants to take a look.
How many of our losses were determined by Jameis? Yeah. And that's the crazy thing is the more that it started becoming reality, it's still like, as far as like the whimsical feelings of that and the surrealness of everything, it's like I still can't believe it. Like I still haven't processed it yet. that we're going from a situation where the Bucs were mediocre at best and they had the best worst quarterback of all time, and we go to the greatest quarterback of all time. Is that going to be the legitimate difference? And you start thinking about it, you're like, how many times did Jameis, even if Brady gives up the ball half of the times that Jameis did, we're winning most of those games that we lost. And I mean, with the fact that we franchise Shaq Barrett, we've got Mike Evans, who he's about to explode, and if he doesn't, Mr. Chris Godwin is definitely going to.
Yeah.
OJ Howard as well as our tight ends. I mean, the Bucs are going to be super scary. I think now that the defenses don't have to worry about, hey, who wants to get 2 points for their fantasy football defense this game here.
Yeah,
I think I am. It's the first time I've ever been excited to see a football season start in a long, long time, and it's the first time I can be proud of just a quarterback. Even and I've been telling my stream this, and I've been talking about it on the Isaac videos as well. It's like, even if he never plays, okay, let's just say for whatever reason all this falls through, but he's still a Buccaneer and he can't play for whatever reason, and then he does retire. It's at least like it's telling how much we want a change to be proud of again for Tampa. And it used to be our defense. Traditionally, it's always been the Tampa defense. It's always been super scary. That's what won us the Super Bowl, whatnot. I'm still just even happy that I was at least for a little while able to experience being excited for a season, being proud of a quarterback for once in my entire freaking life. And it's a neat feeling. And I'm first in line for a Brady Buccaneer jersey, even if he never plays the game in Tampa. I've never wanted a football jersey more than I do right now. It's a great time being a Bucs fan, and with respect to Bear, because I know that it super bummed him out. I personally would actually make a trip to Tampa just to watch him play.
Ooh,
yeah, and so you're just to be clear, you'll be happy whether Brady does well in Tampa or not, right?
Yeah. I'm just happy
Good.
to not have Jameis.
Yeah, so
because I'm not expecting to win the Super Bowl. Because I know where you're getting at. Because already the hype is like, the season tickets are already sold out for Tampa, and people are saying like this is going to be an easy win. Like he came down here just to outshine Drew Brees and everything. I'm not looking to the moon like cryptocurrency style for this season. If he takes a year to adjust or whatever, and they want to re-sign him, have they said how long his contract is for? Is it just
2 years?
Season? It's 2 years. Okay,
yeah. That's the standard for.
I'm not even if we go. Let's hypothetically say if we do go 8-8 for whatever reason, I will still be happy with the fact that the Buccaneers are willing that finally the Glazers were willing to go for the biggest fish of them all in the market. Like they actually showing potential that they want to legitimately improve, and they want people to get excited about Tampa. So even if he sucks, and as long as he doesn't put up Jameis numbers, I don't care. I'm just happy for the experience of actually being excited for once for Tampa Bay football and a quarterback that I can actually like really enjoy watching play. Yeah. So even if he sucks, this whole experience has been surreal and awesome and very weird as a Bucs fan.
Here's a fun stat for you. I know we like our stats here.
Yep. All right.
Over the last 4 years, Tom Brady has thrown a combined 29 interceptions. This year, Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions. 4 years versus this year.
So the thing that I was gonna say, that's the reason that I like prefaced that other statement was because the thing about Brady is he's never really played in the type of system that you guys run in Tampa, and he hasn't played with a receiver that can go super hard over the top like your guys can since like Randy Moss. So like the way that he plays is like quick passing, quick decisions. Like he understands who's going to be open when before he even snaps the ball, and then he throws it right there. Which is not like you guys usually have like some like long developing routes and like a lot of streaks and stuff, and I don't know if Brady can hit those anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he really hasn't played with a just from top to bottom dominant receiver in a long time, since Randy Moss, I would say.
Yeah.
Although I think that does a couple other receivers that he's had a little injustice, because he has had
greats like Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I mean, all the super greats like them. But I think that it's not going to be. It's not. This is what I think will happen. I don't think that they are going to adjust. I don't think they're going to make him adjust as much as they are going to adjust to him.
True. Yeah, I think you're right. And they're all good enough to do that too.
Exactly. And Bruce Arians, everyone knows that he is famed for his ability to coach quarterbacks. So I personally think instead of making Tom adjust to the team and sort of and mesh and get more homogenized with their system, I think that they are going to ask the receiving corps specifically, as well as the offensive coordinators, to sort of bring more in line with Tom style than Tom in line with Buck style, because obviously, for all the joking aside of how much I hate Jameis Winston and everything, something has to be said for at least for the fact that if it was a competent quarterback who was throwing up those stats minus all the giveaways and turnovers, that's a pretty impressive system that they've built down there. They insert the greatest quarterback to ever play it, adjusting a little bit to his flavor and his style. I think that he's going to do very well, and I think that just the idea of Tom Brady being there is going to make all the receivers be like, yeah, dude, you tell me what you want me to do and I will do it.
Right.
They're just happy not to have Jameis.
I think just his presence alone just changes the atmosphere of the entire team, right? Because like you go from Jameis, who's kind of winging it, being like whatever, to a guy that's like, I've won the most Super Bowls ever. I know how to win, and we're gonna do what it takes to win. Right?
I personally am the GOAT. Yeah. Again, especially since he's out of my fucking division now, I can feel more comfortable heaping praise on him. But like the thing about him is that he's got as many Super Bowl rings as any other NFL franchise does. Like that's crazy. That's just crazy. But yeah, so you're right. I think he will. He's totally going to change that culture. I actually would say that you guys are potentially in a position to be a Peyton Manning Denver Broncos right now. Like you guys
love that.
You've got a very, very similar setup to your team too.
Yeah.
To them back in the day, because they had a really good receiving core, a really strong defensive line, and I think their defense was overall better than yours is right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that is the one caveat that is troublesome, is that Tampa Bay, we have not, as of recording the podcast today, which is the 20th of March, we have not re-signed Ndamukong Suh. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back, because I mean, look, I don't like the guy, but if it came down to Suh, like who would I rather have in their prime, like Warren Sapp or Suh? I'm going to take someone like Sapp, but there's no one else out there like that right now. And Suh at least played in the system long enough to where he's got our defense down. But really, where the Bucs need to be focusing on is the secondary. If they can't, I worry about this offense's ability to just gunsling, because we thought that Brady was going to do that last year in a number of matchups, and it turned out to be just a complete slog in most of them. So I'm not. It's not a vote of no confidence in Tom necessarily, but I do have issues with our secondary. It's not going to be perfect, but if we couldn't get a secondary to outgun people with Jameis just slinging it out there nonstop, Brady's not going to throw the ball as many times as Jameis did. It's just not. He's just not designed for that kind of thing. So I think that our offensive prowess is going to be. It's not going to be as volatile as it was with Winston, but I am worried about our ability to stay in a game if we go like let's say for example the Bucs play New Orleans, who is known for gunslinging, you know, can we outduel them? Sure, but can our defense outperform the New Orleans defense? You know, I'm gonna say right now it's not a definite yes. You know, there's a lot of holes in the defense that need to be plugged, but I think offense now the Bucs have there's no excuse. I mean, we have everyone coming back as far as the big players are on offense. So there is absolutely no excuse for this. And the fact that people are getting excited for the Buccaneers is very, very weird because nobody gets excited for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers except Bucs fans.
Well,
and even then,
some
of us aren't excited.
I think even just having a guy that's more of a clock management quarterback and not a guy that's going to throw a pick and the defense has to go out back again is already in itself like a positive for the defense.
Yeah, it's just so great to be excited for football again for once, and then the entire world's going down. But hey, at least we had a good 2 weeks, Rob.
Yeah, that's a positive. Yeah. No, I mean, I was gonna say one thing that you got going for you is I think is that one of the benefits of lacking in a secondary and having like your offense so short up like you do, except for maybe you guys need like a real good running back, and I don't know how good your offensive line is or your tight ends, but since you guys have that short up, one of the benefits is that drafting secondary is pretty good because secondary players tend to be able to come out of college and produce like right away. Especially like if they're good in particular.
Yeah.
But because there are a couple other positions that isn't necessarily the case. Like QB, obviously, like running back isn't necessarily going to be as good in that first year. You know, but like secondary players, like it's mostly just like a physical game. And you could get like a good hard hitting safety that will be fucking like a beast in his freshman year. Or even a cornerback. I don't know if you guys need one of those, but I imagine you do.
We need a lot of stuff on defense, but I mean, just give me that Brady jersey. That's all I want. The season if the season gets canceled and the Bucs never play football again, that's fine. Just give me my Brady Buccaneers teeth. Like I'm ordering 2. I'm not even joking about this. I'm ordering 2. One for me to wear and one for me to put up and hang somewhere.
Well, let's talk about some trades that happen.
That was the big topic, Coach. You knew that we had to spend a little time on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I need to, after a year of just sadness, I needed to get some hope instilled into you. So let's talk about some trades that happen, because a lot of trades happen, some of which are not good for some teams. Specifically, one of the first ones that happened, the Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans for David Johnson and a second-round pick.
I mean, just how bad could you do on a trade?
Yeah, that is a Bill O'Brien special.
It really doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, apparently they had a falling out, which I guess is why it happened.
Yeah, so the buzz around town is that I don't know the specifics more than anyone else does who could just turn on ESPN, but there was a big time problem with it. Wasn't necessarily, I guess, locker room conduct. It was more of he was looking to get more value than what the organization felt that he was worth.
Yeah.
And Bill O'Brien was heavily in favor of not giving him, like, he was taking a more administrative role in actively working against Hopkins for the amount of money that he was looking for. That's what the local news is talking about.
That's
Whether how much that's true or not, I don't know, but I've never seen a coach just like straight up stop a player from like, yeah, you're not getting this much money.
Which is insane because he's one of the best receivers like in
he's
football.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Like he and Deshaun Watson were just getting started in the rapport too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like he's got to be like top 3 best receivers in the league right now, right? Like,
yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
Certainly.
Yeah,
he's
like you got like Julio, Michael Thomas, and I don't know him. Maybe.
Last year,
Like,
he had 1,165 yards, 7 touchdowns. He also had like some good playoff catches.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. The year before, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. The year before that, almost 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. Like, his numbers are still there. This isn't like an Odell Beckham situation where his numbers were declining and he's kind of injured. Like, he's still good. Like,
Yeah.
he's at his peak. It's
like literally prime years. Like, that's
yeah. And they gave up David Johnson, who last year had 345 rushing yards and 370 receiving yards.
how.
Yeah, he was old last year.
Yeah. So
He hasn't had a good year in a long time.
yeah.
Well, like, the thing with David Johnson is he's kind of only had like one good year. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
like one
saying.
good
It's-
year.
yeah.
That's
it is the fact that they didn't even get a first rounder for
a second round
Hopkins.
pick.
Yeah,
You
that's
gave up a
crazy.
second?
We're talking about DeAndre Hopkins. The dude hasn't even hit his prime yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. It's just a terrible trade.
It just shows how eager the Texans were to get rid of him.
Although, I think it should. I think we should lampshade it and mention that, like, we were praising the Bears for the Khalil Mack trade, and that didn't work out too hot ultimately. And we were praising, I don't know, a couple of teams for Antonio Brown fucking around for a while, and that didn't work out too hot. So, like,
I mean,
there
it's
are a
also,
lot
you
of-
never know.
yeah, I think it's important to mention that, like, as we get into these future trades, like, we'll judge them, but it kind of is ultimately even just like a toss up over whether or not it's good or bad.
It really
You know,
is.
But we can give our opinion, Rob.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another trade that happened, Calais Campbell went from the Jaguars to the Ravens for a 5th rounder. And he actually got 2 years ago, he had 10.5 sacks. Last year, he had 6.5 sacks. I mean, the dude's 34, but I mean, he's still playing well.
Yeah, he's producing.
Yeah. And you go to a team like the Ravens, I'm sure he'll keep it going.
Mm-hmm. I mean, John Harbaugh has always been that type of guy to keep, like, older veterans around. Like, I think he uses veterans not only just to play, but to train the younger players. Like, the team, like, it's almost like every position has that on the Ravens, where there's like one old ass man who's like, listen here, kids. but like that happens like everywhere. And
Come on, sit next to Uncle Raven over there.
yeah.
It's actually true because Zadarius Smith was with the Ravens for like 3 years, sitting behind everybody. Then he comes here, and now he's like one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. And now he's like coaching up like Rashawn Gary and like all these other pass rushers. It's like he's just continuing the Raven mentality. And I'm like, dude, this is great.
Yeah,
keep it going.
Yeah.
So Ravens doing it right. Even at quarterback, they got RG3 with Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Although I don't think he's there anymore, but he was.
Is he not?
I think he's a free agent, but we'll see.
They'll probably end up getting.
I mean, the Ravens are just going to keep improving. As long as they have Lamar Jackson, the Ravens will always be good.
Well, because that's the thing, is that Lamar is just going to get better. Like he got better. He got better year over year in his first 2 years. He got better year over year in college. Like, he's just going to keep getting better, and that's scary. That's really scary for the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Especially now that Tom Brady's got that.
I know. Hayden
Glorious
Hurst
time, Rob.
traded from the Ravens to the Falcons for a 2nd-round pick plus swaps of 4th and 5th rounders. I don't even think Hayden Hurst was that great. Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, sometimes it seems
349 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know if that's worth a 2nd round. I mean, is he as good as DeAndre Hopkins for that 2nd-round pick?
I don't know.
But I don't know.
Dude,
I mean,
the Cards are going to
Texans
be.
don't think so.
Yeah, the Cards next year. Ooh,
They're gonna be
boy.
Yeah, Kyler Murray just got a whole lot scarier.
Oh yeah,
they've got the Browns vibe from last year, except maybe
Except
they'll be good.
So
Well,
they
like,
don't have Johnny football.
Hopkins is like,
I mean,
perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
but Hopkins is perfect for Kyler Murray. Like, a guy that you want Kyler Murray to throw to is like a possession receiver who's the superstar who can like move around and improv and like, make something out of nothing.
Well,
Which
I mean,
is
it's
exactly what Kyler does. Which is why it works so well in tandem. That's who you want for it. Because like Kyler, the play might break down in 1 second, but then he's going to be running around for 10. And if you have DeAndre Hopkins running around for 10 seconds, that's just a completion. Like there's nobody's going to stop that. Like there's nothing you could do about that.
And even last year, they had Christian Kirk, who they drafted really high up 2 years ago. He had 590 yards, 3 touchdowns 2 years ago. Last year, 709 yards, 3 touchdowns. So he's starting to come into his own. And you still have Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah. So, I mean, that's already a solid 3-wide receiving core.
Oh, man, is he sticking around?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to retire. Yeah, I know he says it every year. I'm glad. I'm glad he changes his mind every year. I want that man. That man deserves a fucking ring. That's all
really
I'll say about him. He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But I mean, something else that I wanted to break in with is that I would argue that it's better for DeAndre Hopkins to go to the Cardinals because for the reasons why you guys already talked about it, but also because you got to remember the fact that Kyler Murray plays almost exactly like Deshaun Watson does, and he is, except just a younger version. And I would have more confidence in Kyler Murray's throwing ability than Deshaun Watson's, but I think that Deshaun Watson's feet are better than Kyler Murray. That's just my opinion. But I think that this is a situation where Hopkins is really going to a pretty much dream scenario for not only him, but also the Cardinals are getting their dream scenario of having someone who is actually just now starting to get into a stride in the NFL and already has a rapport with a very similar style of quarterback, except this time around Kyler is going to be, he's not a rookie anymore. He's going to be a sophomore year coming out and dominating defenses, and the Cardinals are not going to be a joke next year.
Yeah. Then we had the Colts acquiring DeForest Buckner from the 49ers for a first-round pick.
DeForest Buckner.
Which,
for a first, it's crazy.
It is crazy for a first, but I think the Colts just really needed a defensive lineman. And Buckner, he's with the 49ers. He had 12 sacks 2 years ago. He had 7.5 last season on a stacked team. So, I mean, he's definitely got the potential. He was drafted in 2016 too, so he should be going into his prime. So I think, I think it's honestly a pretty good fit for both teams. Maybe it's a little high of a pick, but
there's another Colts acquisition as well. That's a big one.
Yes, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
The Colts quarterback is now Phillip Rivers, which is also really weird to think about.
Yeah.
So now, let's see. The AFC South has Ryan Tannehill, Phillip Rivers, Deshaun Watson, and Gardner Minshew. What a division.
Yeah. That's going to be wild.
That is going to be a wild division. I mean, honestly, I think Phillip Rivers actually fits in well with the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he's got a decent team around him. The Colts aren't a bad team.
No, they're a good team. I mean, they're virtually a playoff team, really. Yeah. I mean, they haven't changed a great deal since 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be right there competing with the Titans and the Texans as the Jaguars sit at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll tell you who moved up and who went down in the AFC. That's for sure. The Colts. I think the Colts very easily overtook the Texans here.
Mm-hmm.
Just from Rivers being there. I mean, I would have been happy with Rivers going to Tampa. I already told everyone that. I was surprised that they didn't push harder for that. But then I really thought that we were going to get Bridgewater. I was ready for Teddy. I was ready to go. I was like, that's going to be a great sign. Then he goes to Carolina, but
yeah. I thought that would have been a great signing, honestly. Teddy Bridgewater. I think I have a lot of faith in that guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a good fit over there.
Yeah.
We'll get to free agents here in a second. We're just wrapping up trades. Bills acquire Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that is crazy.
They gave up a first rounder, a fifth rounder, a sixth rounder, and a 2021 fourth rounder.
Yeah, I really wish we had done that.
Honestly, I think this is a good move for the Bills. I mean, it's one of those things where
yeah.
you hope it doesn't backfire because, he's kind of a diva. But, I mean, this gives them the number one receiver they need, gives Josh Allen something to throw to, and that lets you put, like, Cole Beasley and John Brown down a peg, and now you have, like, a legit wide receiving core.
Yep.
So
yeah, and he's also the type of receiver that you want with Josh Allen because he's got great hands. Like he's a big, he's a possession receiver as well. And that's great because Josh Allen can't hit a barn from 10 feet away. So like,
yeah.
So it's a good, but honestly, like legitimately, like it's good having like a guy like that with Josh Allen, and it makes me pretty worried about the AFC East. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's gonna be cool actually, because I just love when all these players like start swapping around, especially when I've watched like Stephon Diggs for years at this point, so I know he's good. But it's gonna be cool to just see him like with the Buffalo Bills. It's so weird. So then we had the Broncos acquiring Jarrell Casey from the Titans for a 7th round pick, which is actually insane because Jarrell Casey's really good.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a pretty low draft pick.
2 years ago, he had 7 sacks and 62 tackles. Last year, he had 5 sacks and 44 tackles. Like, sure, he's 30 years old, but, like, the dude's still balling.
It makes you wonder, like, when they make plays like that, it's got you wondering whether or not, like, they know something more.
Yeah.
Like, in the physical or something. Because, like, that is weird, right? Like, that is... This dude can definitely still produce, like especially, like probably for at least another 3 to 5 years, unless the physical said like maybe he'll get another year.
Oh, I see. So from what I'm reading, apparently they wanted to shed salary to re-sign Derrick Henry, is what it seems like. So that would make sense.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's one of my favorites: the Bears acquired Big Dick Nick for a 4th round pick.
Yep.
Man, that's
I still feel so bad for Nick Foles. I don't, because like he's a millionaire, he's got a Super Bowl ring, like shit's gone pretty well for him, but like he never gets a situation that's good. The one time he gets a good situation, he wins a fucking Super Bowl. Yeah. Every other time, he gets like the shittest teams.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, you're here so that if Trubisky keeps sucking ass, then we'll put you in. And he's like, oh, okay. Like,
I mean,
now the
he's
Bears...
good enough to start on any team.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, he should start over Trubisky, to be honest with you.
He definitely should. Yes.
Absolutely.
In fact, I think he might, but we'll find out. I mean, the Bears now have like 0 draft picks. They have like 2 draft picks in the first, I think, 5 rounds. They still have a lot of holes to fill, which is the weird part. And now they take on Nick Foles' like big salary on top of that. But I see the Jaguars still have to pay $18 million in dead money, so it's not as bad as it could be. But if Nick Foles doesn't really do much, that's is it worth it then? But I guess so. We'll see. It's the Bears. I'm fine with it. Another big trade. Eagles acquired Darius Slay from the Lions for 3rd and 5th round picks.
Yeah.
Big play Slay.
That is that's interesting.
Yeah. It's gives them a good corner. I mean, Darius Slay's good, another kind of ego guy, but he can make plays. That's why he's big play Slay, unless he doesn't.
I wonder why the Lions went away from him. Like, I don't know what the fuck the Lions are going to be doing next year.
I don't either. I think we'll see. Browns acquire Andy Janovich, fullback, for a 7th rounder. I guess because the Broncos aren't going to be using fullbacks, so they just gave him up, even though he's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Lions got Duron Harmon from the Patriots for a 5th and a 7th rounder.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That is.
So I mean, that's gonna help their secondary. You lose one guy, bring in another.
I sent you. By the way, I sent a different free agency tracker in the Foos and Balls chat. It's
okay.
yeah, it this one's better, I think.
Oh yeah, I think this one is better. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure it's not gonna auto play this. Okay, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
And then the final trade we got is the Steelers acquire Chris Wormley from Ravens for a 5th and a 7th rounder in 2021.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of like a hey,
Yeah.
neat. So a lot of trades actually, and now we can get to the free agency. So
Signings.
apparently the number one free agent here, Amari Cooper, stays with the Cowboys for 5 years, $100 million.
Yeah, that's a huge contract. They really wanted to keep him there, and he's definitely going to retire as a Cowboy. They're not going to let him go unless his production starts slipping.
Yeah, it's 20 a year. Damn, that is that's massive.
That's
so almost as
money.
much as they're paying Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean, they're banking on him being a top tier receiver, I guess. But
I mean, he is their number one. He's proven to be effective on their team. He's
extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's proven to be like have good chemistry with Dak. Like I get it. Yeah, you know,
I get
like,
it as well.
They need more. They need more help though on the receiving side.
My only question was the 5 years though. I wouldn't expect them to put 5. I thought that maybe at max they would go 4.
Yeah,
it might be a contract reason to be able to stretch it out. Or
yeah, that's possible. Or there might be a non-franchise tag clause or something that we don't know about.
Yeah. And you know, also importantly is he's 25, so like that means they're locking him up until he's 30, and then they can reassess then, which is a great year to reassess a wide receiver. You know, like when they're 29, 30, see if they're still producing. You know, and I think he probably will still be. So, you know.
I mean, it's a good move. It's just it's a lot of money, but sometimes you got to do it.
Breaking news, Coach Krendor. We were wondering about Todd Gurley. He's officially signed with the Atlanta Falcons, Coach.
Yep.
Damn.
For
Gurley's
1 year.
With the Falcons.
1 year, $5 million. Wow, that's so cheap.
Yeah,
I was really
a
hoping
minimum prove it deal, dude.
Damn.
I was really hoping the Bucs would pick him up.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good to have a Tom Brady, but
yeah.
That's wow, that is a really good deal. Yeah. $5 million for a year. That's I think they're going to be very happy with that. Honestly,
is that full prove it or like are there incentives like I'd like to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. I don't know, but still that's really cheap.
Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney's still unsigned because he wants a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill re-signed with the Titans. Byron Jones. Yep. Bringing back Tanny. Byron Jones went to the Dolphins from the Cowboys. 5 years, $82 million. Dolphins got money to throw around, so it's, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And they have they're in the same position that we are, which is that like if you want to get good players, you're gonna have to overpay because nobody wants to go play Miami.
Yeah, it's
so just to elaborate on Gurley real quick. The Falcons offered 5 because there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding his left knee, and they got him on the cheap for the fact that he's got a known issue with that. So
damn,
that's what drove down his stock a little bit.
Jeez,
maybe that's why they cut him too. Because they already knew that. I don't know, but
the deadline
fall from grace, huh?
The Rams were looking at a $10.5 million on the $10.5 million guaranteed by 4 o'clock Rob's time today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So or yesterday I should say. So that was the deal breaker for them.
Yeah,
they were gonna pick that up.
Well, it's gonna be crazy seeing him with the Falcons.
Yeah, it hurts. That hurts the Bucs a little bit because that's NFC South territory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really hoping that we would get him.
Drew Brees, 2 years, $50 million, re-signing. Yep. So we got some
he's
Brees.
41.
Yeah, Brees Brady battles down in the South.
Yeah,
that'll be pretty good to
old
watch.
folks home coming out to battle each other.
I remember you guys.
Arik Armstead resigned with the 49ers. Corey Littleton went to the Raiders. Rams are losing all their players.
Yeah.
Tom Brady to the Bucs, obviously. Jack Conklin from the Titans to the Browns. That's going to help Baker Mayfield out.
Oh yeah.
That's going to hurt Derrick Henry, actually.
Conklin got a 3-year, $42 million with 30 guaranteed. Good Lord,
that is a
for
lot.
An
Offensive line, man. That's
Well, you invest. That's the long term investment, and not only obviously the line, but also the quarterback as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to take care of your lineman.
Yep. Phillip Rivers Colts, of course. That was 1 year, $25 million guaranteed. Whew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers making bank. Anthony Costanzo, 2 years with the Colts to remain there. Chris Harris Jr. went to the Chargers from the Broncos, staying in the division.
Get to 13, coach. Get to 13.
Jameis Winston. Nothing. Dante Fowler Jr. to the Falcons. Another Ram going to the Falcons. 3 years up to $48 million. Oof. DJ Reader to the Bengals from the Texans. Devin McCourty staying with the Patriots. Javon Hargrave goes to the Eagles. That's a really good signing for the Eagles.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a good nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's old though now, isn't he? He's got
John Hargrave?
No, he's only 27.
Yeah. He's not that old. I think he got a Pokemon rub.
Yep, sorry about that.
Yep, that's the evolution kicking in.
Yep.
Jason Pierre-Paul re-signing with the Bucs. There you go.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad re-signing. Austin Hooper with the Browns in an insane deal. 4 years, $42 million.
Yeah,
that is cheap for what he could be with them.
Yeah, I mean, if he plays at like a high level like he can, like he's still young, so he hasn't even hit his prime yet, but like if
he's 25.
If he starts like growing with Baker Mayfield, get some chemistry going, that could be really good.
Mm-hmm. Like he's already like one of the best tight ends in the league. So like, you know,
like I was hoping the Packers would get him, but they weren't going to pay that much money.
Yeah,
I hope the Bucs get this next guy because, man, he's real good.
Von Bell, 25 years old, unsigned. So that'd be a good Bucs signing.
I mean, the Bucs need someone who knows the secondary, and he played in the NFC South. Like, I would be happy with Von Bell if the Bucs picked him up. I'm sure that he's probably talking to him.
Yeah. Melvin Gordon to the Broncos.
Yeah.
2 years, $16 million. It's not bad at all.
I think that's a real good signing for the Broncos, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Robbie
Anderson. They still got QB issues. Oh yeah, Robbie Anderson.
Still unsigned. Honestly, I kind of want the Packers to sign him.
I hope he comes back around and rejoins the Jets.
What is the deal with that, Rob? I thought for sure that they would pick him back up.
It's just the thing is like he's not worth what he deserves right now.
Yeah.
Like he's shown enough that I think he's owed like a good big paycheck. Like I think a team with money and a slinger like can do some real good work with a guy like Robbie Anderson. It's just he's not great, and he's gonna get like a great valued paycheck, and I don't think the Jets want to do that. Which is fair because the thing is like he doesn't really do that much.
Yeah.
You know, like his hands aren't great. He pretty much has incredible straight line speed. He might be one of the fastest, like top 3 fastest players in the league right now in straight line speed, which is really, really handy, but that's kind of all he can do. And even if you throw it at him, like he might not catch it. So like it's not, it's weird. He'll be with another team. I think he would be like with a good QB. I think he could potentially be very good, and especially if he gets to be a number 2. Because with us, he was basically a number 1, and he can't do the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can do like if you put him in the slot and you have like 2 good receivers, or if you put him even as a number 2 and you have 1 really good receiver, like he could ball out. I can honestly I can almost guarantee that. But I don't know. Hopefully the market's soft for him and he comes back to the Jets. I would like that a lot.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
like him.
I don't know. I feel like the Packers could sign. Cause I mean, we already have Devontae Adams, so he'd be like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they want to pay him the money. I think it's the big thing is everybody thinks he's asking for more money than he deserves. So his price will start dropping, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. Everson Griffin still unsigned. He's a pretty solid edge rusher. James Bradbury with the Giants. I don't even know where he was. Brad's been trying to see Panthers could try. Oh, he's with the Panthers. Okay. Robert Quinn signing a 5-year, $70 million deal with the Bears.
Damn.
That is
Damn.
a
They
lot
really
of
want
money.
to get someone else other than Khalil Mack on defense.
They really do, because that is an
5
insane amount of
years.
money and lengthy contract. And Robert Quinn's like older, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 29. Yeah,
Huh.
that's
He is very good.
He is very
yeah.
good.
I mean, you're
But
not wrong.
not 5 years, 70 mil good, in my opinion.
Yeah, the things from what I'm reading is that he also does better in a 4-3, and the Bears play a 3-4. So, like that.
Well, they might alter that. I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing is like with those base packages is they kind of like it's kind of a relic of a bygone age. Like
Mhm.
people still talk about defenses as if they're in base 3-4, base 4-3.
Yeah.
But the thing is, most teams spend most of their time in nickel and dime now. They spend almost no time in their base package. So, I think that kind of thing has kind of fallen by the wayside to some degree. However, I will say I just looked him up, and he had a great year last year. Like he had a better year than he had in 6 years. Actually, that was his best year in 6 years. Was last year with Dallas. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of get it, but it's still pretty pricey for a guy that old.
Yeah.
Especially an edge rusher that old.
Yeah, and his best season was like 6 years ago. Taking a look at it. It looks like it was with the Rams. He had insane amount of sacks, but since then, his first 5 years, 5 sacks, 10.5, 19, 10.5, and then it's 5, 4, 8.5, 6.5, 11.5. So he's actually had his best season in a while, but it's one of those like that is because of the 1 year prove it deal. Now he got paid, so he's like, whatever. So that's always a factor that goes into those. But we'll see. I hope it doesn't pan out because it's the Bears and they're in the division. Emmanuel Sanders still unsigned. That's a big one.
I would like him a lot.
I do. I would like him
would like
if we
Emmanuel
didn't, if we didn't need wide receivers.
Yeah. Cowboys not expected to sign Emmanuel Sanders. That's word coming out right now, so that's good. He'll go somewhere else.
I can see him going to Green Bay, to be honest.
I would love that. Emmanuel, I already read that. Shelby Harris, Denver's most disruptive lineman 2 years in a row, is still unsigned. Brian Bulaga to the Chargers. That's actually a really good one. 3 years, $30 million. He does have a lot of injury issues, however.
Yeah.
So, he's
and
also old as shit, right?
Yeah,
No, he's not old as shit.
Well, he's like in his early 30s, but
yeah.
When he plays, he's really good. But the problem is, like, it felt like every other game. They're like, Bulaga's ankle, Bulaga's shoulder, Bulaga's arm, Bulaga's fucking put together like Frankenstein at this point. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
He's as good as Richie Incognito without the psychopath side, but he just gets injured way too often.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, he's a really good guy. So, he's a good locker room guy and just everything like that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward resigning, 3 years, $28 million. Solid there. Graham Glasgow going to the Broncos. Apparently, 4-year starter in Detroit. So that's why nobody's heard of him.
Yep.
Kyle Van Noy to the Dolphins from the Patriots. 4 years, $51 million.
It is surprising that happened, but it seems like maybe the Patriots, like, I think that maybe is why, like, Tom Brady even left. Is I think Bill has finally, like, he's been injecting dark magic into that team for the past 5 years, where their window closed like probably 10 years ago, and he's just like still being like, yes, cripples and broken things, bring me to the Super Bowl. And I think he's finally decided that, like, we just can't. We need to, like, fully rebuild. So,
do we think that the Patriots dynasty's over?
yeah.
Is the Patriots dynasty over? Dude, watch them go like 9-7 still and like win the division or something.
I'd be
stupid.
so fucking mad.
They
I would
draft like
laugh.
some rookie quarterback who becomes like the next best thing.
They're gonna draft him in the 5th round.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
kill me. Just end me.
It's the second coming, Rob. Get ready for it.
Joe Schobert goes to the Jaguars. 5 years, $53 million.
Yeah, he's a good linebacker though.
I've heard of him, but I don't even know his stats. Oh, he's with the Browns. 133 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 picks. Yeah, he's pretty good.
No, Schobert's good. He's good.
Damn. Yeah. Then we got Andrew Whitworth re-signing with the Rams. Good for them. He's a good lineman. He's 38 though, so getting up there.
Yeah.
Jerron Reed re-signs with the Seahawks. 2 years, 23.
Jerron Reed.
Logan Ryan's still unsigned. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Fuller with the Redskins. 4 years, $40 million. Pretty good signing. I just know he's a good player, and I remember, I think, who was it? I think it was Joe Buck or something. Called him like Kendall Jenner or something. Joe Buck. He's like Kendall Jenner. I was like, I don't think Kendall Fuller's
Kendall Jenner
Kardashian.
here, and I'm Joe Buck.
Clinton Dix signed with the
Your
Cowboys.
boy. Yeah, that was just today because he was a free agent as of yesterday. So
1 year, $4 million, going to play with Mike McCarthy again.
Yep, he wanted to follow his coach.
Honestly, 1 year deals for him are fine with me. That's a really cheap deal too. So I mean, I think that's a good signing.
Yeah, he's not a terrible player. He's just got a hilarious name.
He is. He actually played decent last year, I think, which is what I expected. Not good, not bad, just kind of average to slightly above average.
Well, that was his last year, so
yeah,
he was looking at leaving.
Well, he was on a 1 year deal with the Bears.
Yeah, he was looking at leaving.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. He was like trying to do his prove it deal.
He was one and done. Yeah,
and now he got another prove it deal. Jamie Collins to the Lions. Wow.
Yeah.
That is 3 years, $30 million. More Patriots leaving. It is getting crazy.
They're jumping
over there.
ship. They're jumping ship.
I think they're just straight up. I think Bill's just like, nah, full rebuild.
Yeah,
and you
I
know
think so.
in that draft, like, because the meme is that, like, you're not supposed to trade with the Patriots because like the Patriots always accrue picks or whatever. They actually, the reality is that meme is incorrect. They actually move up about as often as they move down. However, the thing that I will say is that if we're gonna see Bill Belichick rebuilding the Patriots from like the ground up, you fucking better believe like every fucking pick is gonna be a trade down for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna accrue like 30 picks and build an entire team in this draft.
Yeah,
certainly.
I mean, what the Patriots are doing right now, it's very clear that they're pooling resources and getting ready to. They're ready to just tear it all down, and it's not going to be a remodeling. It's a straight up just new construction.
Mm-hmm. Which I think he actually kind of likes because he's like, all right, now it's time for me to have full control over again instead of knowing like Tom's there.
I mean, if you're going to give it to control to one coach in this world, that's who I would want it to be doing. So
you don't want to give it to Bill O'Brien?
No, definitely not, Coach. I wouldn't want to give it to Gruden either. So,
well, I mean, Gruden picked up fucking Jason Witten.
Yeah.
Yep.
His old partner in ESPN booth.
Yep. His old co-caster in cohorts.
Yep. Demarius Randall's unsigned. Quentin Jefferson goes to the Bills. 2 years. Not a bad deal. Seattle's most consistent pass rusher, so going to the Bills makes them a little scarier, more so than they already are. Jason
Yeah.
Peters unsigned at 38.
Yep.
Trey Waynes to the Bengals, 3 years, 42 mil. They get a corner, so the Bengals doing a thing.
Yeah.
Good
I mean,
for
they
them.
also franchise tagged AJ Green.
Yep.
He's never allowed to leave Cincinnati.
Yep. He's never allowed to
trapped
leave.
there.
They did pass just to interrupt our free agent thing. They did pass the thing where now in the new agreement you can't be banned for like smoking weed anymore.
Oh, really?
really?
Thank
I didn't-
God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I think there's
hilarious.
some other stuff in there. But yeah, they actually can't get banned for smoking weed. So, it's going to help a lot of guys out.
They agreed to the new CBA already? I missed that. I've been pretty much not paying attention
Yeah.
to football news. There's other news that I've been following
I know.
recently. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it did pass because they're talking about where is it? Or it's the CBA or CDA football collective bargaining. Oh yeah, CBA. CBA's done.
Oh wow, I'm actually surprised. I really would have thought that they were gonna do that was gonna take some time, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Did they really? Damn. All right, I
So
gotta read up on that.
They are going to be going from 12 to 14 playoff teams. They are going to have a 17-game regular season.
Really?
Yep.
What?
Mhm.
Oh my god, I didn't fucking pay attention to any of this. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are they doing the Schiano proposal?
That's a good question. I haven't read into it that much. I just know those things, and I know that weed is not bad anymore. And I think players do get some more money. I also think something with the what's the one that isn't the franchise tag? The like tenure starts with a T. Something like you can't use that this year. I don't know. There's some crazy shit in there. You should check out. But yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So back to here. Malik Collins unsigned. Bradley Roby to the Texans, re-signing. Jordan Phillips to the Cardinals. 9.5 sacks last year, so that helps the Cardinals. Carl Joseph re-signing with the Browns. Or wait, no, was he with the Raiders? Oh, yeah, he's with the Raiders, so now he's going to the Browns.
Yeah.
Michael Brockers to the Ravens, another Ram leaving. That's actually really good for the Ravens. That's a solid defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eric Ebron actually signed today with the Steelers. I was kind of hoping the Packers would sign him, but that's a good signing. Teddy Bridgewater to the Panthers. That's
Yeah, look at that that contract is insane. That
3
they
years,
gave Teddy.
63, 33 guaranteed.
63 for 3 is insane.
Yeah.
But but Teddy, in my opinion, like I wouldn't have expected like much less from him because especially with Carolina's position now that Cam's done, I would love to have thrown that much money at Teddy because I think that he is still one of the best that's out there right now in terms of free agents, or at least he was for quarterback.
Mhm.
I would have loved the Bucs to get him, but I'm happy.
I'm gonna be honest. Jameis is actually pretty high up there on like potential backup QBs in the league. Like
He actually is, yeah.
Like he would be a very good backup, all things considered.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
long as he's not in Tampa, I don't care where he goes.
Yeah.
let's see. Then we got Blake Martinez to the Giants.
Yep.
Blake Martinez is actually a pretty solid middle linebacker. Like he's not the best, he's not the worst, but he's pretty good. So I mean, I think it's a good signing for him. Ndamukong Suh unsigned. Nick Kwiatkowski to the Raiders. He was with the Bears. He actually did pretty well when he had to play for some of the injuries that happened. So that was 3 years, 21 mil. Desmond Trufant to the Lions. Maybe that's why they traded Darius Slay away. So
I don't know if you guys saw it. I do have to jet in like 10 minutes.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll power through here. Gerald McCoy to the Cowboys. Darqueze Dennard, Jaguars. Rodney
Darqueze
Dennard. Rodney McLeod, Eagles. Eli Apple to the Raiders. Michael Pierce, Vikings. Malcolm Jenkins resigns with the Saints after going to the Eagles. Darby unsigned. Carlos Hyde unsigned. Derek Wolfe unsigned. Vic Beasley to the Titans. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for them.
Mm-hmm. And 1 year, $9 million. It's
Yep,
actually
9.5
9.5.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then Gurley, of course. Marcus Golden unsigned. Adrian Phillips unsigned. Brashad Perryman unsigned. Marcus Mariota to the Raiders. Another big one there.
Yep.
So he'll be backing up Derek Carr, which I think, again, Marcus Mariota is like a good backup type quarterback. That's the thing is Mariota and Winston, both drafted 1 and 2, now are like backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Devondre Campbell to the Cardinals from the Falcons. DeMar Dotson unsigned. Jimmy Smith unsigned. The Jets get Connor McGovern.
Connor McGovern.
It's actually a pretty solid lineman from Denver.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, no,
27 mil.
I'm glad that we're doing that. That is going to be useful for sure.
I read that he used to play like guard or something, and then they swapped him to center, and he did like really, really well. So now he just plays center.
Oh, perfect. We need a center.
Yeah. So that's good for the Jets. They need a lot of things.
So. Yep.
And he looks like a guy that you'd want to play like WoW with.
He does.
So
yeah, absolutely.
A guy you'd want to be social distanced with. Greg Zuerlein unsigned. The kicker. Halapolvati Valiadeli to the Lions.
Yep. There it is.
5 years, $50 million. Oh my God. Demarcus Robinson unsigned. Randall Cobb to the Texans to be their replacement for losing their best receiver.
Yeah, they're going to be very disappointed in the comparison, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd agree there.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm not even a Texans fan. I'm just like, man, that is horrible.
Michael Bennett unsigned. Bashad Breeland unsigned. Prince Amukamara unsigned. Jalen Mills to the Eagles. Andrus Pete, Saints. I think he re-signed with them. Christian Kirksey to the Packers. That's a good signing I like. He's with the Browns. Now he'll be our Blake Martinez replacement. I think he was kind of injury prone, but if he plays really well. So hopefully he's healthy. Emmanuel Ogbah to the Dolphins.
They're beefing up their defense down there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton Geathers, Darryl Worley, Devin Funchess all unsigned. Shaq Lawson going to the Dolphins from the Bills, swapping the AFC East teams. 3 years, $30 million. Mario Addison going to the Bills. He's kind of an older pass rusher guy, but I think he's still pretty solid. So that's it's actually a pretty good Bills signing, I would say. Let's see. Last year he had 9.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Pretty good. Then we had David Onyemata. 3 years, 27
Onyemata's life.
Linval Joseph going to the Chargers from the Vikings. That's actually a good signing for them. He was always pretty solid for the Vikings. Rick Wagner to the Packers, offensive tackle, for only 2 years, $11 million. Another Detroit offensive lineman who I think will be happy in Green Bay and play better. Timmy Jernigan unsigned. Eric Reed unsigned. Brian Poole to the Jets, re-signing on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, they should. I'm surprised they didn't lock him in more because Poole is real good.
Yeah.
A good corner.
Let's see. Everybody else here, any other sign? Ashawn Robinson signing with the Rams.
Terrell Suggs is probably done.
Yeah, I would imagine he's done unless he goes back to the Ravens or something.
No, they didn't pick him back up.
I mean, maybe they will. Maybe he'll sign for like nothing. I don't know, but
it wouldn't surprise. I mean, the dude's played 17 seasons, so
yeah. And then the Bears, I want to mention, signed Jimmy Graham to a 2-year, $16 million deal in a signing that actually blew my mind because I thought Jimmy Graham was going to like retire. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
He's not good anymore. I don't know
He
if you
was-
guys knew that, but did you know he played basketball?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, he plays basketball.
Yeah.
Apparently
well, here's
so.
another fact. He's not good anymore.
Wow.
The last 2 years, okay, his first year at the Packers, he had 55 catches, 636 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last year, he had 447 yards and 3 touchdowns, 38 catches. He's not good. He's slow. He tries to do dumbass one-handed catches in the end zone, but can't anymore. And he can't create separation. He's like, the fact that they signed him for $8 million a year actually makes me so happy that they did that.
He was old 2 years ago.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
33 now.
Yeah.
So I don't get it, but, have fun, because I just watched 2 years of that, and I was ready to be done with it. Even Seattle, the year before, he had 520 yards. He had 10 touchdowns in Seattle, though. But prior to that, he only had 6 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, that was kind of an anomaly season. And I don't think, even if anybody would have signed him to that much money, not even the Bears, who I don't like, that would be an awful deal. So the Bears already have bad tight ends they overpay.
He's gone. He's gone. Coach, he's gone. Don't worry.
All right, well, that's fine.
We gotta bring him back, Rob.
But yeah, for the most part, that has been NFL free agency.
Yeah.
So
Woo!
a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of
Go
crazy
Bucs.
fun.
Go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs. Honestly, I'll be cheering for the Bucs. Screw it.
Yeah.
Go
You
Bucs.
You know it's a doomed season when coach is cheering for the Bucs.
Well, I'm cheering for the Packers as well. They actually play against the Bucs.
Yeah.
Good old Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady battle. I'm ready.
Dude, I'm serious. I will be looking at possibly going to Tampa for the first time ever to watch a Bucs game just to see Tom play.
Yeah. So hopefully that happens and the world is okay by then. So thanks for watching, listening. We'll, I guess, have a draft show if it happens, I guess. Well,
Hopefully
whenever
there's a draft.
whenever the draft happens, I'll have a draft show. And we'll see you next time.
All
All right, bye. End it.